Hi everyone, I'm Wanda, 28 years old, and I'm so glad you're here. I really enjoy relaxing with Minecraft and diving into Reddit stories, and today I've got another one to share with you. So find a comfy spot and let's get started. I, 29 female, still can't believe I'm writing this. I got married 3 weeks ago to what I thought was the love of my life, Derek, 32 male. And our honeymoon night turned into the most devastating conversation of my entire existence. I'm back home now, sitting in what was supposed to be our bedroom. And I honestly don't know if my marriage is over before it even really started. Derek and I met 2 years ago at a CrossFit gym. I know, very cliche. But he was this charming personal trainer who made me laugh during burpees, which should be physically impossible. He's one of those guys who's effortlessly good at everything rock climbing, cooking, fixing cars, making people feel comfortable. I fell hard and fast. We've been living together for about 8 months, and kids have been a constant topic of conversation. I've been open from day one that I want a big family, at least 3 kids, maybe 4. I grew up as an only child and always felt like something was missing. Derek seemed just as excited about it as I was. We'd walk through Target and he'd point out cute baby clothes, talk about converting the spare bedroom into a nursery, even suggested we start trying for kids after the wedding. I work as an elementary school teacher, so I'm around kids all day. And Derek would always ask about my students when I got home. Tell me about the funny things they said today. Or do you think our kids will be as creative as Emma in your 3rd grade class? He even volunteered to help with my classroom's fall festival last year. And all the other teachers kept telling me how lucky I was to have found someone who was so good with children. The wedding was perfect. We had it at this rustic venue outside Austin, with string lights and mason jars and all that Pinterest-worthy stuff. During his vows, Derek talked about building our future together and creating the family we've always dreamed of. I literally have it on video. My maid of honor, Sarah, keeps texting me asking if I want her to come over, but I can't even explain what happened yet. We went to Costa Rica for our honeymoon, 10 days, at this incredible eco-resort in Manuel Antonio. Derek had planned the whole trip, which was so thoughtful because I'd been drowning in wedding planning stress for months. Just show up and be beautiful, he'd said. I'll handle everything else. The resort was like something out of a travel magazine. Our suite had a private balcony overlooking the ocean, an outdoor shower, and a bed covered in rose petals when we arrived. Derek had clearly coordinated with the staff because there were champagne and chocolate-covered strawberries waiting for us, plus this cute Mr. and Mrs. setup that made me cry happy tears. The first few days were absolutely magical. We did zip-lining through the rainforest, took a cooking class where we learned to make authentic gallo pinto, spent hours on the beach reading and napping. Derek was attentive and romantic, constantly taking photos of me and posting them with captions like "my beautiful wife" and "living our best life with my forever person." On day 3, we had this amazing conversation during dinner at the resort restaurant about our future. I was a little tipsy from the wine, feeling all romantic and dreamy, and I started talking about baby names. Derek seemed totally engaged, suggesting names and laughing at my ridiculous options. I still think Moonbeam is a perfectly acceptable middle name. Thank you very much. I can't wait to see you pregnant, he said, reaching across the table to hold my hand. You're going to be the most incredible mom. We even stopped by a local shop that sold handmade baby clothes. And Derek bought this tiny yellow onesie with a sloth on it for our future little one, he said, kissing me in front of the store. I posted a picture of it on Instagram with the caption, "Starting the collection early, but looking back now." There were weird little moments that should have been red flags, like when I mentioned wanting to throw away my birth control pills during the trip. He said we should wait until we get home and really settle into married life. Or when I brought up making a doctor's appointment to discuss prenatal vitamins, he changed the subject to planning our next vacation. It was our 5th night there, and we'd just gotten back from this romantic sunset catamaran cruise. I was feeling incredibly connected to Derek, like we were finally starting our real life together as husband and wife. We'd been talking all day about our dreams and goals, and I felt closer to him than ever. We were lying in bed around 11 p.m., and I was curled up against his chest, playing with his wedding ring and feeling all sentimental. The ocean was right outside our window, and everything felt perfect and magical. "I love you so much," I whispered. "I can't believe we're actually married." "I love you too, Claire Bear," he said, using the nickname he'd given me months ago. That's when I brought up the birth control thing again. So I was thinking, maybe I should stop taking my pills when we get home next week. I know we said we'd wait a few months, but I'm just so excited to start trying. We could have a baby by next summer. I felt Derek tense up immediately. His whole body went rigid, and he was quiet for so long that I lifted my head to look at his face. "Derek, what's wrong?" He was staring at the ceiling with this expression I'd never seen before. Like he was trying to solve a complicated math problem in his head. "Claire, we need to talk about something." Those 6 words, I swear, nothing good has ever followed. We need to talk about something in the history of human relationships. "What's going on? You're scaring me." He sat up and turned on the bedside lamp, which immediately killed the romantic mood. He looked nervous, fidgety, like he was about to confess to murder or something. "The thing is, I can't have kids." I laughed, actually laughed. "What do you mean you can't have kids? Like medical issues?" "That's okay. We can do fertility treatments or adoption, or whatever we need to do." "No, Claire. I mean, I chose not to have kids. I got a vasectomy 3 years ago. The words hit me like a physical blow. I literally felt the air leave my lungs. What do you mean you got a vasectomy? When? Why didn't you tell me? Derek started talking really fast, like he was trying to get through a rehearsed speech before he lost his nerve. I got it done when I was 29, right before we met. I've never wanted kids, Claire. I thought I'd made that clear. But then, when we started dating, you were so excited about having a family, and I didn't want to lose you. I kept thinking maybe I'd change my mind, or maybe you'd change yours, or we'd figure something out later. I was sitting there in my honeymoon nightgown, staring at this man I'd just married, feeling like I was talking to a complete stranger. But Derek, we've talked about kids literally hundreds of times. You bought baby clothes 3 days ago. You talked about converting the spare bedroom into a nursery. I know. I got caught up in your excitement, and it made you happy, so I went along with it. I thought maybe if I just participated in the fantasy, eventually one of us would come around to the other's way of thinking. The fantasy, DEREK. We planned our entire future around having children. I was crying at this point, ugly crying, and Derek was trying to reach for me, but I kept backing away from him on the bed. Claire, please. I love you so much. We can have an amazing life together, just the two of us. We can travel, buy a nice house, spoil our nieces and nephews. Kids aren't everything. They're everything to me. How could you not tell me this? How could you let me marry you knowing this? That's when he dropped the second bomb. I was hoping you'd change your mind. My ex-wife wanted kids too, and after we'd been married for a few years, she realized how great our life was without them. She thanked me for not giving in to the pressure. Ex-wife. DEREK had been married before and had never mentioned IT. I spent the rest of that night locked in the bathroom, crying and trying to process everything. Derek had been married before, had gotten a vasectomy specifically to avoid having children, had lied to me for 2 years, and had somehow convinced himself that I'd just get over wanting kids after we were married. When I finally came out around 6 a.m., Derek was sitting on the balcony with coffee, looking like he'd aged 10 years overnight. We need to talk about this rationally, he said. Rationally, DEREK. You lied to me about the most important thing in MY life. He started trying to justify everything. Said he'd planned to tell me eventually, but could never find the right time. Said he'd researched vasectomy reversals, and they were totally possible if we decided we really wanted kids later. Said his previous marriage ended for lots of reasons, and he didn't think it was relevant to our relationship. Also, he added, like this would somehow make things better. I've been paying for your birth control all this time. If I really wanted to deceive you, I would have let you go off it and just let you think we were having fertility issues. The audacity of this man to act like he deserved credit for not letting me spend months wondering why I wasn't getting pregnant. We barely spoke for the remaining 5 days of our honeymoon. I spent most of the time crying on the beach, while Derek tried to salvage the vacation by booking couples spa treatments and romantic dinners that I couldn't even pretend to enjoy. The flight home was 8 hours of sitting next to each other in complete silence, while I stared out the window and wondered if our marriage was over before our first anniversary. Update, posted 3 weeks later. I've been staying at my sister's house since we got back from Costa Rica, and Derek has been blowing up my phone with texts ranging from desperate apologies to logical arguments about why our marriage can still work. Some highlights from his message history. Claire, I know you're hurt, but we can work through this. Love is more important than having kids. I've been researching vasectomy reversals. Dr. Martinez in Dallas has a 95% success rate. My therapist says couples face challenges like this all the time and come out stronger. Wait, his therapist. Apparently, Derek has been seeing a counselor for months about his commitment issues and never mentioned it. Just another tiny detail he forgot to share with his wife. Yesterday, he showed up at my school during my lunch break, which was mortifying because all my coworkers could see me crying in the parking lot. He brought flowers and a folder full of printed articles about successful vasectomy reversals. Like this was a PowerPoint presentation he could logic his way through. Claire, I'm willing to try to reverse it. We can have kids if that's what it takes to save our marriage. But here's the thing. Even if the reversal works, how do I trust him again? He lied to me about something fundamental for 2 years. He let me plan a wedding, pick out a dress, say vows about our future family, all while knowing it was impossible. My sister thinks I should get the marriage annulled. He married you under false pretenses, she keeps saying. My mom thinks I should give him a chance to make it right. My best friend Sarah is ready to key his car. Here's what I need to know from you, Reddit. 1. Is this something you can come back from? Like, realistically, do marriages survive this level of deception? 2. If he gets the vasectomy reversed, and we do have kids, will I always wonder what else he's hiding? Will I spend the rest of my marriage waiting for the next bombshell? 3. Am I being dramatic for considering divorce over this? Some people are telling me that at least he didn't cheat. And lots of couples figure out they want different things. 4. Has anyone here been through something similar? Either side of it. The worst part is that I still love him. Like, I'm furious and heartbroken and feel completely betrayed. But when he texted me, "Good morning, beautiful," yesterday, my first instinct was to text back, "Good morning," like nothing had happened. Also, I found out through Facebook that Derek's ex-wife, who I still can't believe existed, remarried last year and just had a baby. So apparently, she didn't actually thank him for not giving in to the pressure of having kids. She just found someone who actually wanted children with her. How do you rebuild a marriage that was built on such a massive lie? Is love enough when everything you thought you knew about your future together was an illusion?